Keep it going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, they created some chances in that second half, did Chelsea, and it was the final one that they took, just
about, right? You know, but it was one of those moments for them where this pass out here from Reece James gets him in that one-on-one action, and the little shift he gives there and then the acceleration feeds it into the area, but it's that deflection there for me that makes the opportunity a clear-cut one. When you see it here, he's feeding it into that area. This is the best area to feed it into. But that deflection from Ake is what guides it towards Fernandes and gives them the opportunity. But the save from Donnarumma is absolutely magnificent. You're thinking, the goal's gaping, gets up, big hand, and thinks it against the post, doesn't he?
yeah.
Open it, you're thinking, oh, definite goal here. And it's a cheeky little dink against the post. But they thoroughly deserved it because they worked so hard today, and they didn't create much, but look at the elation on his face. So happy and overjoyed.
There's probably an element of relief there from him as well that it clipped the inside of the post. And well, it was a heck of a save, wasn't it?
It was an amazing save. The way he stretched was brilliant, Donnarumma, but it wasn't enough. But just on that clip there, you know, Nico O'Reilly, the way he goes to the ball, take nothing away from Gusto, he goes right to the ball so quick. So then by the time Gusto takes a touch, if you just look there, he's sort of... If you're going to go that quick, you've got to take everything with you.
As in man and ball.
Man, ball, absolutely everything. But yeah, here's the goal there. And fair play to Enzo. He always arrives in these positions here. His third man running is fantastic. But in terms of defensively, it's just Nico O'Reilly. He went and then he couldn't move. Go all the way if you're going to go. Otherwise, give yourself 3 or 4 yards where you can dictate where you want to go.
Yeah. I was going to say, when you say all the way, you mean go through the player.
If you're going to go that speed, the way through the player, take the ball, take the man.
Because by doing what he did, from your perspective, he gets caught what?
So yeah,
in no man's land a little bit.
So if I don't know if you can rewind that a little bit in terms of his positioning now. So roll it on slowly, and we pause it there. So now he's straight on. So now he's showing him outside. So if you're going to show him outside, you've got to be ready to go outside. And if you go on slowly, straight through, now he's square on. It can go the pass inside, the little dink over, and now he's in no man's land. And normally you can do that with someone who's not got pace, but that's why you have to give Gusto a lot of credit because he's got the pace to do that and then put the delivery in as well.
Go on, sorry.
Is that then the body shape of the defensive? When you're approaching a player in that wing position, is it the body shape is pivotal for you to stop him?
It's footwork. You see, he goes with his left foot early, and he gambles, and he shouldn't gamble. And that's why I said if you're going to gamble, you've got to go all the way, take the free kick. Played in Italy many years, and that's what it was taught to do. If you're going to go that fast, go all the way. And it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, you also have 2 centre-halves who'd actually come on as well, because, not to take anything away from the Chelsea goal, because both Diaz and Guardiola have gone off injured. Chelsea had 8 shots in that game. 7 of them came in the second half. So we're not going to show all of them. We're just going to show the Neto one. But the change worked. Yeah. Some changes worked, rather.
They did, and I think they came out with a new lease of life. You go into the dressing room and they're going to get the videos out. They're going to show you where you need to be. This is what we need to do to expose them, lads. The timing of the pass here is nice, but the feet from Enzo Fernandez to be able to do that in the box. And you're thinking, my man, my brother, you've got to hit the target there, my guy. You cannot be doing that. And you've got João Pedro at the back post thinking, one more, just one more. Give me a back heel, one more. I got an open net. And he did the wrong thing, clearly, over the bar.
Would you have scored that?
Me? I might have done a little back heel to João Pedro.
But the point of that and the 7 shots in the second half was, you know, when we talked about City not being ruthless, it wasn't as if they hadn't had warnings, you know, therefore we really need to go and kill this off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's down to the manager and the change at half-time. I think Chelsea was in the mode of we've got nothing to lose, and they went a little bit higher up the pitch. And then I said with City, they always give you chances in that middle area. When you've got a Foden and a Shirky playing in them number 10 roles and it's all offensive, Rodri, who I thought was magnificent today, there's space either side of him as well. And Chelsea, Cole Palmer goes into the middle, starts getting into them half spaces, and it's difficult because Chelsea have the quality. What we talk about Chelsea, it's just now the consistency, and that comes with experienced players. And yeah, Chelsea fully deserve that in terms of the work rate and then the tactical switch from the manager. But also, Man City did have the chance, especially in that first half, to see out the game.
Let's just take a look at the Manchester City goal scored by the man who was going to be player of the match until Chelsea equalised and Gary changed his mind.
Yeah, I mean, you see in here there, obviously, so much time, and this is when you talk about Shirky and Foden in them little spaces, the ball's actually for Haaland, and then it was actually Reinders who was the one who was running in behind. I actually don't think Chelsea defensively do a lot wrong here, because if you see the way he's angled, the way the ball is got him on his left foot and shows him that way, and then he just can't get the connection he needs. And if it goes in the near post, and I know goalkeepers won't thank me for this, you're always looking at the goalkeeper there. It was because I think the pace it went in, but the goalkeeper, I think he could have been half a yard to the
Can I ask you a question? Because I've never really thought about this, but you see, from the defender's point of view, would you consider that you've done your job there?
I've showed him to an angle where the keeper, so in training, you nullify the angle and then give it to the goalkeeper to go. So as he comes right now, so he's done as much as he possibly can do. He can't go across goal there. The only way he can score is at that side near post. So you think the goalkeeper's positioning, and I'm not a goalkeeper. Joe Hart will probably tell me after they were talking absolute nonsense. But in terms of the position to help him out in there, if the defenders took a bad position, could he have started a little bit half a yard to the right just to protect him?
So the short answer is yes, he would have thought he'd done his job. And it was the goalkeeper's fault that it went in. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pep, well, a real setback, especially when you were so close to seeing it through. What do you think in the end cost you?
One action and score a goal. So we had a lot of actions with 2 against 1. We played a fantastic game, so for the result.
Did you particularly enjoy, or were you particularly pleased with the first 45 minutes?
90 minutes. For 95, we played so good all the game because it's normal second half they make a step up. They were more aggressive. We got normally chances not like that, and they make a step up. It was more difficult. We have 2 actions in the beginning of the game because we lose easy balls with Tijani, with Mateus, but the rest we have chances in the right moments, to close the game, and at the end we couldn't do it, and at the end when 1-0 everything can happen with the quality that they have.
Did you feel though, as the game wore on, and perhaps it's down to the intensity and the physicality of the schedule as much as anything, that the team started to suffer a little bit? You obviously lost a couple of players to injuries during the game.
Yeah, suffer for the injuries, but not the game. The game was not suffer.
How are the 2 players, Diaz and Gvardiol?
It doesn't look good. We'll see next days.
Yeah, and you said before the game, the squad's really, we're suffering, we're in trouble, I think, with your words before the game.
Last season, he played this season again, yeah.
Stay close to family even when you're far apart. Send money to your loved ones with Remitly.
So does that feel like it's really been accentuated by what's happened today? Not just the players you've lost injured, but like the pressure on the rest of the players who are playing more and more minutes?
Yeah, it's what it is. It's what it is. Yeah, we knew it. When you have all the squad, you can compete and rotate, but now, it's a situation, but we'll have enough energy to get back.
Yeah. Do you worry, though, about the schedule ahead?
I cannot change it.
No.
The schedule is what it is.
Any chance of players back for Wednesday?
Right now, I don't know. I don't think so, but right now, I don't know. I didn't ask to the doctors yet.
Okay. Would it change transfer plans, potentially? Players in, players out? It feels like you need players in now.
No idea. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
The frustration mainly comes from the chances that they didn't take, Daniel, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, he'll be really disappointed because they were really good all over the pitch. They controlled Chelsea specifically in the first half. They were very good in this channel specifically as well. And they were causing all sorts of issues for them. And you're thinking, that touch is magnificent. You're thinking, you're used to Man City being clinical in front of goal. You're used to, but these last couple of weeks now, we're seeing that reliance on Haaland. You know, you get a goal from Reinders today, but when you're expecting the squad to be able to score goals, the other guys aren't delivering on a weekly basis, and that's potentially the concern for him. You know what you're going to get from Haaland, isn't it? We're talking about, it's only 3 games. That's absolutely nothing. That's normal for every striker in the Premier League to go through a 3-game blip, but collectively as a team, you need the other players to step up to score goals. Otherwise, it's going to be a tall task.
So when you've not scored in 3, what would you do differently? I mean, Haaland's a different
He doesn't need to do anything different. He absolutely nothing. Everything he does is right. He's in the right positions. He's not shy. He's not scared to continue to make the runs. He wants to take the chances. Certain times when you go through a blip, sometimes you might, certain guys, they hide and they go, I'm not bursting a gut to get in that area. I'm not trying to put my body on the line to ensure I'm getting chances. Today, he had probably more space than he's used to having. We saw one chance where he sort of ran through the whole team and almost scored, and we don't see that.
But do you change anything when you're not scoring?
I don't think he will, and I don't think he needs to. I think it's about continuing to do what you're doing. Your luck will change, and it's not necessarily luck. You saw today hit the post. He was in areas. He created big problems. It was just it didn't go for him. I fully expect him to end up with 30-odd goals or whatever it may be, and we talk about it now and we go, oh well, he still ended up with 30-plus goals. So I think 3 games is absolutely nothing for a player of his calibre.
Funny how these things work, isn't it? If you go back to when people were questioning Arsenal like a month ago, it's because they'd drawn at Sunderland and then drew at home to 10-man Chelsea. And now there's a 6-point gap at the top, and people will be talking about where the title race is at, because Manchester City, albeit have drawn at home to Chelsea, and they drew at Sunderland.
I don't think this game is league-defining. I think I said it on Thursday as well. Arsenal play Man City in April. That is going to be one of the games, and there's going to be chops and changes throughout the season. Some games you think, we're going to win here, we're going to win there. It doesn't happen like that. And you've got to give credit to Chelsea for that, because they put up a fight. They made it difficult, at times today. And, Man City will be kicking themselves, but you have to give Chelsea credit, especially what they've been going through with having no manager.
Yeah. I mean, it's on the defensive side. You said before the game, you talked about on the counter-attack sometimes looking a little bit vulnerable. We saw that almost today with the goal that they scored, where it was in a one-on-one position in the wide areas. Are those some of the things you want to see them change moving forward if they are to challenge and actually go on and win the title?
What in terms of
Manchester City defensively in those transition moments where they're sort of being vulnerable in counter?
Well, it's very difficult at times, because you've got Nico O'Reilly, who's left back, is a midfielder. You've got Mateus Nunes, who's a right back, but he's a midfielder as well. So if you talk about defensive instincts, it's difficult. They're doing so well because Man City always dominate the ball. So in terms of getting on the ball in midfield and playing, but they're not natural defenders.
Although the question I would then ask to that is, how long do you have to have played in that position before you are that position now, as opposed to what you formerly were?
Well, it depends how your team play, though, doesn't it? I think with the way Man City play, they dominate the ball. So I think when we talk about Nico Gonzalez, why it took him a while to get up to speed, because he's replacing Rodri, who mopped up all the counter-attacks. He come into the game now as a defender. I used to love that one-on-one defending. That was my game. I used to love it. But these players, especially as midfielders, at times, because Man City sort of starve you from the ball and push you back, you then become in a one-on-one situation where their attributes at times don't suit that.
That's why when they had a Kyle Walker, I'm not saying that they need one, but that's when it amplifies that individual one-on-one defender, and you sort of see the attribute jump off the screen, like, oh, he's really fast, he's great in one-on-one actions. Whereas now, they are ball dominant, so they're rarely in these moments, so you don't get to see that type of action where, Gusto goes past Nico O'Reilly. You rarely see that. You rarely see so much space for a one-on-one moment against Man City.
So given they are ball dominant then, now it's kind of moving on from the defensive problems that they've got today with Gvardiol and Diaz, and looking at who they might be bringing in Semenyo. Given that they are ball dominant, but given that they have Foden and Cherki, Reinders operating in the channel, Doku was on the bench. If Semenyo comes in, how do you both think they are going to use him?
Probably high and wide. So
that would then change the Foden-Cherki dynamic.
Yeah, maybe, because historically, you can talk about Man City's wingers are high and wide, like a Mahrez and a Sterling and a Sané, etc., etc. Now, the wides are coming in the number 10s, and they're using the fullbacks, Nunes and O'Reilly, to go high and wide. So then it's a different way to approach the game. But if you had someone like Doku on one wing and Semenyo on the other, then you start with wingers high and wide, and you get Cherki and Foden in central areas.
Yeah, I think when you look at them today, they're not predictable, but they're a very... We move and we advance the ball in a specific type of way. They've got similar players in Foden and Cherki in there that kind of do similar things and pick up similar pockets. And you've got Reinders, who seems to be the one to make the runs in behind for them, similar to what maybe a Gundogan would have done in previous years. So I think for me, similar to what Mike has just said there, is that Semenyo is going to be that guy that when there's balls coming in the box, he's going to be at that back post scoring goals. He's a goal scorer.
Yeah.
What I love about his game so much, his work rate. He's always working back. He's going to give them a guy who's goal-driven, who can create his own shots. If you look at him statistically last year, he was top 5 in shots taken in the league playing for Bournemouth, which means I have the ability to create a chance for myself. And now I'm going to a team who's ball dominant. Yes, he will be facing teams that are deeper, so it poses him a different problem. But we're talking about a guy who the manager can go, look, when the ball's in this area, I need you at that back post making those runs. And that's how Raheem Sterling's in the 100 club, because you get those goals playing for a club like this who are ball dominant. You're going to be in the box and you're going to have goals at the back stick in the 6-yard box. That's the kind of thing that I'd like to see from Semenyo.
Reece James talking about pride in his Chelsea team. He kind of echoed what you said there, Glenn. We knew a chance would come.
Yeah, they did. They grew in the game in the second half, and I think a lot of that was down to City, actually, the way they played. But you've got to give credit to Chelsea. I thought their subs worked, and I think the manager for the day, if you like, Callum, should be patted on the back with the slight change. He allowed Enzo to go a little bit more further forward and play with a 3 in midfield and let him go a lot more attacking than he did in the first half. But he's done that for Chelsea. He'd done that many times against Paris Saint-Germain when they won the Club World Cup. They played in that position, and he closes people down in that position, but he actually gets into the box and does what he did in the end and gets the goal. So there's a lot of things. Delap did well, so the shape was good, what they did at half-time, and then the individuals did well that went on from the bench. And that, from any manager, it doesn't matter if it's your first game or your 100th game, that's what you need from your bench. And I think the change at half-time, I think it was more an emphasis. We're going to go out there and play our football. We've